Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In advance, I'm going to warn you guys that my voice is a little raspy because I'm starting to get sick. So I just want to give you guys a fair warning before someone points that out. But in today's video, we are going to be experimenting with mango butter. I know a good handful of people have allergies to tree nuts or nuts in general, so we are going to be focusing on making a body butter free from nuts. So, mango butter is rich in vitamins A, B, and C. It has moisturizing properties and it also provides occlusion to the skin. It's anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, antifungal, and antibacterial. It's an estrogen, so it has a dry feeling, but it readily absorbs into the skin. So in today's video, we are going to be experimenting with 3 ratios of mango butter. We are going to be working in a 50-50 ratio, a 60-40 ratio, and a 75-25 ratio. For the 50-50 ratio, I am going to be experimenting with camellia oil, which is oil that comes from the seed of a tea plant. It's a lightweight oil, it is a quickly absorbent, and it offers regenerating properties, and it also has a dry feel to it. And the second oil we are going to be working with is a medium to lightweight oil. My choice of oil is sunflower oil. It is rich in vitamin E. It helps reduce transepidermal water loss and inflammation, and it softens the skin. We're going to be using 60% mango butter and 40% sunflower oil. And last but not least, we are going to go for a more heavyweight oil, which is avocado oil. It's easily absorbed into the skin. It's rich in vitamins A, D, and E. It's good for sunburned skin and offers light sunscreen properties. But you cannot make those claims on your products whatsoever. So we're going to prep each and every one of the butters now. I'm going to take my 50-50 ratio butter and add it into the mixing bowl and just start it on the mixer. And for the other ratios of mango butter that I am going to be testing out today, I am just going to grab a container and put each of them into a bigger container and melt those down and put them in the freezer. Okay, so for this experiment, I do want to experiment how mango would feel with a lightweight oil, a medium weight oil, and a heavy oil. And for the 50-50 butter, I also want to experiment how mango butter reacts without melting it first. If it will be any grittiness or anything different in texture wise. And just to differentiate between the butters that I'm going to be making for this video, I will be adding a little bit of colorant to each of them. After allowing the butter to wet for a good 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just going to show you guys the consistency I've came up with. Now this butter, it was pretty nice. It was decent, but I recommend you melting it because this one, as you could tell while I was mixing it in the previous clips, it is very, very gritty. And as soon as it make contact with your skin, you are just gonna feel grit. So I feel like this is a very good consistency, but the grittiness is just not it. So I am going to try my hardest to do my piping skills again, but it did not work out at all. And I also did put this in a fridge so it could firm up, just so it could run through the piping bag, because it was a little bit loose coming straight from the mixer. So I did put it in the refrigerator so it could firm up a little bit in order for me to pipe it. But my piping skills are not immaculate yet, so we're just going to keep working on that. And I actually know where I went wrong, so hopefully next video I could have better piping skills. If not, then I'm not going to stress over it no more. It's just for a aesthetic pleasure anyway, so whatever. But as you guys could see, as I'm rubbing it into my skin, it really absorbed into my skin with honestly nothing. You couldn't even tell that I rubbed body butter into my skin after a while because it just soaked up into my skin. But the grittiness is just unbearable, and I will be fixing this one after this video, probably melting it down and repiping it back up just to avoid the grittiness. Alrighty, now moving on to the 60-40 ratio. This is with sunflower oil. I did have it on the stove and I put it in the freezer just for a couple of minutes, maybe 15 minutes, just depending on the shallowness of your bowl or the depth of your bowl. Then you just have to watch it closely so it doesn't harden too much. Instantly, within the first couple of minutes of it mixing in the mixer, it has this nice creamy consistency. And I wish people would stop fooling people with these body butters, because body butter, well, at least from my experience so far, it does not hold this texture at all, like this creamy lotiony texture. I never ran into a body butter that holds that form unless somebody mixes it with water. But if you want a straight anhydrous product, then I never ran into a body butter that kept this consistency. That's why I like to show you guys how body butters look a day, 24 hours after setting it up. Midway, I like to scrape the sides to make sure everything is evenly incorporated as well. Now, don't this consistency just looks like a dream? And don't you wish it could just stay like that? But I promise you, after 24 hours, it won't look like this, sadly. But maybe I could keep experimenting, and maybe I could find a way for a body butter to possibly stay this consistency. But I'm not sure, okay? But I could try. Back at it again with the piping scales. This one was a little bit better, but my formation, my angle, and my longevity of not doing this is showing in this video. This one was a little bit better, but I still need practice. mm, 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 mm. This consistency, it kind of melted on contact fresh out the mixer, and it also absorbed into my skin easily, but it did leave a light film of moisturization. You know, it didn't just all absorb into my skin and sink into my skin, but it did leave a little bit of moisturization. Now moving on to the 75-25 ratio, which is 25% avocado oil. I just got it fresh from the freezer, and we're just going to put it in a stand mixer bowl and let that whip on up. And make sure you guys stay tuned, because I will be doing a separate video using a little bit more ingredients, using my favorite ratio to make a more complex mango body butter mixed with more oils and more beneficial properties. But right now, I just want to take you guys through as I experiment for myself to see which ratio I like with mango butter. Now, as soon as I rubbed this into my skin, it was the money maker for me, okay? I wish it had a little bit more avocado oil, but I could always play with the ratios. But I just love the way it felt going onto my skin. It was not too heavy. It was just the perfect ratio. Alrighty, so these are the butters 24 after setting up, and this 50-50 ratio one is just beautiful. It's the perfect consistency, and it's just everything to me. The 60-40, it is a little bit hard. It's something that I don't think the consumers would like at all, I believe, but it honestly was not that bad, but it was doable, but it's not perfect. Now, on the 75-25 one, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, okay? It is just too hard. It's not pleasing at all, and it's just not sellable in my opinion. If this video was helpful in any way to you, just be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below what's your experiment with mango butter, and I will see you guys in the next video.